Hello and welcome to this Nuffield Research Placement student webinar. This webinar series has been designed to complement your research placement by sharing real stories from STEM professionals and ambassadors. Over the course of this webinar series, our range of speakers will provide expert advice and guidance on future career opportunities and pathways that are open to you as a STEM student. By sharing bite-sized insights into the varied world of STEM careers, we hope that you will come away understanding more about the exciting ways in which you can apply your STEM education. Each webinar in this series features approximately 15 minutes of presentation from our guest speaker, followed by a question and answer session. In this webinar, we're going to hear from Lara Devenish. Lara is a Quality Control Associate Scientist at Autolus, and they will be speaking to you about their experience as an apprentice and what it means to work in quality control. With that, I'd like to welcome and hand over to Lara.
Hi, I'm a quality control scientist at Autolus, and a little bit of an overview about what we do is that we specialise in CAR T-cell therapies for cancer patients, and this basically means that they are designed to reduce symptoms of cancer, which we don't currently have a fully effective treatment for. And with CAR T-cell therapies, it is specific to each patient. So what we essentially do is we take your white blood cells in the name of, which is known as leukapheresis, and we then equip them with a CAR, which stands for chimeric antigen receptor. These are then grown in an incubator within a lab. And when we have enough cells, we harvest them, and this is what the drug product would be. When the drug product gets back to the patient, it is then infused back into the same patient. So essentially you are your own donor. And that is when the manufacture process is complete. So chimeric essentially means that a hybrid DNA. So in the sense of CAR T-cell therapies, we use two sets of DNA within one molecule. So as I mentioned earlier, also specialise in these cancer therapies. So normally T cells can detect and eliminate these abnormal cells, but sometimes they can escape detection and develop into tumours. T cells can be modified to have these chimeric antigen receptors, which enable your T cells to recognise and kill all the cancer cells, even those that usually escape that detection. So to put it into perspective, one CAR T cell can kill up to 7 cancer cells. And at Autolus currently, we are in clinical trials for a number of studies, including leukemia, lymphomas, and myelomas. So besides cancer, CAR T-cell therapies can treat many other diseases, as well as help relieve symptoms and potentially find a cure. These can include Huntington's, Parkinson's, cystic fibrosis, diabetes, and many others. So a little bit about me specifically. I started working at Autolus back in 2018 as an apprentice, and I joined straight out of my A-levels. I've worked within each of the major departments, which include quality control, or QC, which is more of the testing side of manufacturing process. So we're ensuring that it is safe for patient use. You have quality assurance, or QA, which is more documentation and legal based. So they will be issuing and reviewing worksheets, as well as carrying out batch certification. So this is when the drug manufacturing process is complete, and we're certifying it so that it's safe for the patient before we send the drug product to the patient itself. And then you have production, which manufacture the cell therapy drug product, and they work in quite sterile environments to ensure that there's no contamination to the product. Besides working at Autolus, I am a mentor for other apprentices and ambassadors. So I work with the Apprenticeship Ambassador Network as well as STEM. There are many different career choices within CAR T-cell therapies. You have your production associate and or production operator, which, as I mentioned earlier, manufacture the CAR T-cell therapy drug products. You have your quality control associate and scientist, which is what I do, more of the testing side of the drug product, ensuring it's safe for human use. You have your quality assurance specialist, which is more documentation based, and you release batches to the patient. Under the same category, you can have QPs, which is your qualified person, which is essentially the team lead for the quality assurance specialists. If you're looking for less of a science role, you do have your engineering and IT, which improve the use of the machines and technology used within the laboratories. And you have your research associate and scientists, which help to improve current processes and create new treatments that we don't already cater for. So why did I pursue an apprenticeship? So you essentially get your degree for free whilst also earning a wage for the work and training you do at your company. And you're still subject to get bonuses and pay rise during your time there. You gain your work experience alongside your uni degree, which you may not necessarily be able to achieve if you went through the university route. And through that work experience, you also work alongside experts within the field of interest. Your learning is flexible, so you are able to study 1 day a week, and the workload is divided up, so you're never given too much during that 1 day of study. In this instance, it's very rewarding. The drug products have been proven to help patients, and we have many that are in remission, which means that they have been cancer-free for years. You're more independent and have responsibilities, and you don't lose that social life. So a lot of people have this understanding that when you go into apprenticeship, you lose that social life, and you really don't. When you earn that wage and you have your time off like you would any other job, you still get to do everything that you'd like to do. So for me, it's racing in a car with my team, and you'll most likely find me at Silverstone. So my advice to others would be to prepare for your interviews, ensure your CV is up to date and well presented. Do your research into the sector and businesses you are considering. Ensure it is something you enjoy, because apprenticeships are long term. So for a foundation degree, it's 3 years. For your bachelor's, it will be 5 years, as it's an additional 2 years on top of your foundation. Let it be something you are invested in and willing to learn and to be challenged. Seize the opportunity, because it is a great experience that you may not be able to achieve through the university route, and it does provide a better gateway into gaining a job afterwards. Some useful links include the Hop Into website, which carry out webinars with employers who provide apprenticeships in the local area. You have the government apprenticeship website and the amazing apprenticeship website, which allow companies to advertise for apprenticeship vacancies. Get My First Job will enable you to help in interviews and updating your CVs, as well as the apprenticeship steps into getting into an apprenticeship. That is very similar to the Not Going to University website, and the I Can Be A website will enable you to look into the different careers that you are interested in to see if the prospects are suitable for you. Any questions?
Thank you very much, Lara. Really great introduction to what it means to be working in quality control, and also your apprenticeship, and how you got into it. I'll start with one question, which is, how did you get into it? So what did you study at A level? And for someone that is thinking about working in quality control, if they don't take one of the sciences, for example, would that stop them working in quality control in that science in the future?
So I studied health and social care, applied science and business. And I wouldn't say if you didn't study a science, you wouldn't get into it. With apprenticeships, you have the luxury of kind of starting from the bottom and working your way up. So if you did miss the sciences in your A levels, you can go back to get your level 4 through an apprenticeship and then carry on through the university, degree level apprenticeship. So you can start at an entry level and make your way up that way.
Great, perfect. The second question, what could a current NRP student that's watching this right now, if they're interested in working in quality control, what can they do to get a head start?
So you can have a little bit of a look into the sector, so see what parts of it really stand out to you. There's many reports and articles and videos out there to help you. So if you're interested in quality control, you could look into the different assays that they would carry out or the different equipment. So there's lots of testing such as sterility and immunophenotyping that is carried out. So doing a little bit of background research into that so you can begin to understand the basics would help a lot during the interview process.
Thank you very much. And then last but not least, a bit of a different one for you. What is the best piece of advice you've received so far during your career, and how did it help?
Best bit of advice would be to, sounds very cliche, but work hard and play hard. So when you work hard, you can achieve anything. You get the promotions, you get the pay rises, and with that you can then enjoy more of what you love outside of work as well. To have that life, work and life balance is essential. So that would probably be my advice.
Great, sounds good. And yeah, if you're enjoying your time at a racetrack, I can imagine why. Thank you once again, Lara, for a great overview of your role and of apprenticeships. Just a reminder to those that are watching is that the resources that Lara shared during the talk will be available in the video description, so please do take the time to explore them. There's lots of useful information there. And also please do take the time to look at the other videos in this series. Thank you.